Do you believe the Earth is flat?
I know the Earth is flat.
Seriously?
Astrology and flat Earth or true Earth are symbiotic. You cannot have one without the other. If you have a ball and you are spinning, flying through space, chasing this fireball, your constellations would change every now and then. And our constellations have never changed. The stars have never changed. We have the same 12 zodiac signs that we had back in the Dendera stones in Egypt over 5,000 years ago. We're not moving. Every single ancient society knew this. The Mayans, the Aztecs, the Hindus, the Egyptians, every single ancient culture knew that we live in a geocentric universe, not a heliocentric, where we are spinning, chasing this ball of fire while all of these other planets are rotating around us, while all of these other stars are rotating around us. If that was the case, Polaris would move, number one, which is the North Star, and it doesn't. Number two, all of the constellations would not rotate solely around Polaris, but they do. Therefore, we are the center of the universe. Believing in the Big Bang Theory is something that is very common today, where people think, we're the product of an accident and that, we don't have a creator. We're just here to consume and live our best life and not live up to our potential. But if you're the center of the universe, that means that you're very special. That means that you have a creator who is very conscious and cares about you. And when you see yourself as being watched by these heavenly bodies above you 24/7, you start to take your life a little bit more seriously.
Right, let's talk seasons in the flat Earth model. In our model, the sun and the moon rotate in circles above us. And the sun and the moon are much smaller than you think, maybe 30 to 60 miles in diameter. And the moon is a plasma. It's a lesser light. It carries its own light. And the sun is the greater light, as in Genesis, we're talking. So the Tropic of Capricorn is the bigger yellow circle. And during the winter solstice on December 21st, that is when the sun is going on its widest path. From there on, the sun's path starts to the circular path gets a little smaller. That's why, for me up in Cleveland, Ohio, the sun during December 21st, it seems like it scrapes just above the trees. It's definitely not flying overhead. And because of that, its light doesn't fully hit us in the same way. And that's why we have shorter days and longer nights. Now let's go 3 months in advance to March 21st, and you'll see that the sun is directly over the red line, which is the equator. Doesn't that make a lot of sense? So the sun, for us, we get more daylight because obviously the sun is a little bit closer to us. Pretty cool. June 20th or June 21st, the summer solstice. During this time, the sun is moving in its shortest or smallest circle, the smaller yellow circle, also known as the Tropic of Cancer. So it is going to give us a lot more light during this time because we'll be able to see it easier from North America. During this time, it is winter in Australia because the same reason our seasons are changed. Very, very cool. So from June 20th, now the sun is making a bigger circle above us. And on September 21st, which is 3 months later, it is once again at the equator. This is kind of like fall. So that's why you notice during spring and fall, we have similar kind of climates because the sun is in a similar kind of pattern because both times they're going over the equator during this time. And the sun's path is widening once again to get back to the Tropic of Capricorn down there in the south. Let's do full circle and go back to December 21st. And here we are back again. Just picture this being the next year now, December 21st, and the sun is back to its widest path. And from there on, it will start to get smaller and smaller circles. And that explains why we have the daylight during certain seasons. It makes a lot more sense than the NASA model. I haven't really seen very many good videos. I'm not even sure this is a good video to show you guys how the seasons work, but I hope this clarified it a bit for you.
Oh, silly Glurf. Let me get this straight. You're on Baron, the land surveyor's TikTok channel, as he's simply describing Walter Bislin's advanced Earth's curvature calculator and how they got to the equation for curvature drop. Yes, curvature drop. Say it with me. Curvature drop. And do you know where we're calculating that curvature drop from? I know you don't, silly Glurf, but from a tangent. And where would that tangent line start, would you ask? Probably from the surface of the Earth, wherever you were measuring from, right? On the surface, just one spot, from a tangent, straight out. from a tangent. Curvature drop from a tangent. Every Earth's curvature calculator is calculating for a circle that curves 8 inches per mile squared. You should try it, but in the meantime, there's this simple math here. Look at this, 10 miles. You would simply do 10 times 10 times 8. You would get 800 and simply divide that by 12 to get 66.6, rounded up, 66.7 feet. Weird. But I'm not too sure what you're arguing, silly glurf, because it's curvature drop from a tangent. Silly glurf.
I still haven't convinced you that Antarctica isn't a continent, but an ice wall that surrounds our level, flat realm. Well, stick around. We're going to get into it a little more, and hey, that's a funny name for an island. Let's start by looking at this little known fact. Do you know that Antarctica is the highest continent on Earth? The average elevation is 8,200 feet. That's pretty interesting. Not only is it the highest, but it's the highest by a landslide by over 1,000 feet. Now, why would that be? Could it be that you're living on something like this, where water lays level like it always does, and it's surrounded by a container known as Antarctica? You need to ask yourself, have you been programmed to believe something that isn't true? Because we always see that water lays level. It never looks like this, no matter how far you can see straight out or left or right. Water is always level. And did you know in 1946, the United States government sent a fleet of Navy ships down to the Antarctic ice wall and not continent in a little operation called Operation High Jump? You see, they say that operation was about potentially seeking out and destroying a German base down there. But what I believe it was is exploration past the ice wall and seeing what was beyond, because we didn't know at that point. And what I think happened is they found the firmament. They found the barrier keeping us all here in this realm. Because the stories that came back after Operation High Jump were highly suspicious. They talked about seeing alien crafts and things like that, even to the point where Admiral Byrd put out a statement saying that he was worried that attacks in the future could be coming from the air, not the sea. You see, I don't think this Operation High Jump was about anything but testing the limits of where we live. Just like the Tower of Babel in the days of old when they were trying to reach the heavens, I think they were experimenting to see if there's a way out of this realm we live in, just like SpaceX and NASA are doing when they're sending things up to test the firmament. They're not going to space because space isn't what you think. You've been programmed to think that we live in this realm with infinite space, and you're programmed so deeply that you believe water can curve over a ball and that we're moving 1,000 miles per hour. It's not true. We live in a level, flat realm, where Antarctica isn't a continent, but an ice wall that surrounds you.
You are not going to want to miss this video. So, well, I think I found Mars, and it's not 140 million miles away in a space vacuum. Well, for starts, this is what they say Mars' surface looks like. So I decided to search Devon Island in my search engine, and like, the surface is kind of the same. And you're not going to believe this is one of the first pictures that popped up. So I decided to pull up Google Earth and check out this place called Devon Island, and you're not going to believe what I found. So you could do this yourself. Just go to Google Earth, Devon Island. Just going to pull this up. Hit Street View. Alright. Quite a few buildings there. Alright. Scoping it out. That looks like a NASA symbol right there. That four-wheeler. Huh. Weird. Whoa! NASA? What in the... Alright. Mars 1. Moon 1. What in the... Well, guys, Mars is not very far. Wow. Like, seriously, guys. Like, all these rocks are in the same place. That's a little weird if you ask me.
I'm gonna jump on the moon. Whoa, that was fun. Oh yeah, do it again. Oh, and let's fall to the ground. And come back up. Isn't this fun? Let's jump again. We're jumping on the moon. Ooh. Yeah. Ooh. Whoa. Oh, yeah. Jesus is the Lord falling down. Oh. My stuff is about to come out. I didn't lock it properly. Sorry about that, guys. Oh. Ah, man. A mess to clean up. All they did was to slow down the video to 60% out of 100. You were fooled, the world was fooled, Jesus is Lord.
You know how cool God is? He put his greatest creation, which is you and I, at the center of all creation. He gave us the moon and the sun and the stars. He put a firmament over us to separate us from the waters from heaven. You know, he is so much closer than what we were ever taught, and Satan hates that. He hates that we have the free will to worship and serve our Creator, who loves us and who created us for a purpose, each one of us. So now Satan is trying to take as many souls as he can. This is the great deception. Everything we've ever been taught is a lie. He is the father of lies. Get in the Word. Talk to Jesus. Seek him first. We are living in the days of Noah. Jesus is coming soon.
So check out the air apparatuses for scuba. This is for 1 hour. But for Apollo 17, look at that. That's for 22 hours. Does it all make sense? Thank you, NASA.
Hey buddy, not sure what ancient civilizations you're thinking about, but they all knew it was flat with some sort of containment. This is when the cognitive dissonance starts to kick in. Yeah, soak it up, brother. What a beautiful sight.
Now let me show you the example you asked for. New York to Cape Town. New York to Cape Town. New York, 43 degrees, negative 75. Cape Town, negative 33, 1825. You see 0, 15. It is at 18. So 15, then it goes to 30. So in between 15 and 30 is 18. 0, 15, 18, 45. So this line is 45. We need to subtract about 12, giving us Cape Town, New York. You cannot navigate unless your compass needle always points north to the center. Horizontal instrument for a single pole to measure concentric circles, semicircles from right angles, and full circles around a fixed point center called the polar plane coordinate system. This is the North Star. Do you see how we're pretty dang close? Considering the guy this video is replying to in the first place, who doesn't even know what direction north is on a compass, and it's the only thing that a compass does, I'd say that's pretty goddamn close for eyeballing it. New York, Cape Town. We're going to maintain our diamond on the line. And what happens? We arrive at our destination,
The compass works properly. We never changed our heading because all longitudes are a perfect north-south. We align our compass with the longitudes on the map because it's a perfect north-south. It cannot function any other way. Now, looking at my estimation from the other polar plane coordinate system, look at that, 60 degrees, New York to Cape Town. And guess what? North is always pointing to the north. The compass is functioning properly. We have no change in our heading. This is how it works. The only way it works. This is an objective fact of reality. The red half of your needle is the only constant truth in existence.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up out of your sleep, 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 wake up, 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 wake up.
I am going to show you today how emergency landings prove we live on a flat Earth. My name is Eddie Alencar. I am the author of the book 16 Emergency Landings Proving Flat Earth. This flight and 15 other examples you will find in my book. This is Flight QR 725 from Chicago to Doha. According to UK Express, a teenager from Saudi Arabia on board Flight QR 725 had toxic shock syndrome and hypothermia and fell into a coma. The captain decided to make an emergency landing. The plane landed in Moscow, and that's where the problem started for the supposed globe Earth model. This is the official flight route according to FlightAware, following the waypoints on the globe. According to the globe flight route, the airplane flies 1,000 miles southwest of Moscow. Why would the captain fly 1,000 miles northwest towards Moscow? During an emergency landing when the airplane was supposedly flying above cities that offered better medical assistance? It's when we trace the flight path over the flat Earth map that things fall into place. Moscow lies exactly on the path of the flight between Chicago and Doha. Compare both animations and arrive to your own conclusion. Emergency landings do prove we live on a flat and stationary Earth. This is Flat Earth Banjo signing out.